What makes a hero? Is it the superpowers? Is it the ideals they strive to uphold? Is it just the fact that, from time to time, they might help someone in need? Well, that's what this week's comic, Captain America: The Chosen, is trying to answer. I'm Trainer Nick, and let's get right into it. David Morales, Captain America: The Chosen. The Chosen is a 6-issue series, focusing not on Captain America, but on one soldier fighting the war in Afghanistan, Corporal Newman. The story kicks off as we see Newman fighting the war in Afghanistan, with some voiceover telling us his thought. Is this the right thing to do? Am I meant to be here? Is this right? I mean, I know I want to help the country, but war? What is it good for? Absolutely nothing? We then see Captain America turn up and say, "You can do it, son. Courage, loyalty, honor, sacrifice. You can do it." And so, Corporal Newman, spurred on by Captain America's words, manages to save a whole bunch of people. Turns around to thank Cap, and it turns out Cap has mysteriously disappeared. While all of the other soldiers there decide, "Hey, Corporal Newman, you just saved so many lives! Dude, you're awesome! Let's give him a medal." Newman, however, is confused. Did you guys not see it? It was Cap. Cap did it. It wasn't me. Dude. Cap. Newman, there's no Cap here. He's gone. There's no Cap. It was never here to begin with. What are you talking about? You off chops? I swear he was just here. And the first issue concludes the mystery by showing us that Cap is actually lying in a coma on a hospital bed in some secret underground location. We see that Cap's not doing so well and can barely move. He's very sick. We then cut back to Newman in Afghanistan, thinking about the encounter he had with Cap yesterday. I just hallucinated Captain America, and apparently I helped all those people on my own and Cap didn't do anything? This is so weird. And then we find out that Newman suffers from claustrophobia, due to an incident in his past involving being locked in a car trunk. And of course, this claustrophobia immediately comes into play when, while attempting to defuse a weapons cache in Afghanistan, he gets trapped in a cave. A very small cave with no way out. What a shocking coincidence! And just as he's having his hallucinogenic attacks, walls everywhere! Ah, scary! He sees Captain America again. Cap again says, "Courage, honor, loyalty, sacrifice. You're braver than you think." And Newman decides, "I hallucinated you yesterday. What are you a hallucination again, or are you real this time? And if you're real, how did you get in this cave with me?" "Well, I'm not real, and I'm also not a ghost. I'm dying, and they've got me hooked up to these machines that somehow let me communicate with you telepathically. I don't quite understand it." Newman accepts Cap's help, and then Cap tells us the story of how he got here. Apparently, the super soldier serum that was giving him his powers started to break down, meaning that he started to, collapse and die and all those bad things. So they've had him in a secret underground government facility trying to rehabilitate him when they finally realized that it just wasn't going to work and they had to give up. Cap's like, "This isn't good enough. I need better." And then somehow realizes that he can telepathically see soldiers on the war zone and draw sketches of the places where they are. I don't quite understand how it works. The science isn't very well explained. It means that he can appear to help people in their times of need on the war zone. And while he's very good at helping people, this has a very devastating effect on his life, as he slowly dies each time he uses the magical psychic link to team up with other soldiers. Illusion Cap then starts to help Corporate Newman through the cave, while telling us his backstory, his origin story, in fact, which most of us already know. Weedy kid, super soldier serum, joins the war, is Captain America, gets frozen, is woken up, the stuff. And Cap continues to tell us his story, which has astounding parallels to Newman's own crawl through the cave. All throughout, Cap is acting as inspiration to Corporal Newman, with the generic, "You can do it! It's all you! You can get through this stuff!" Which serves to empower Corporate Newman so he can get through the cave. And finally, Cap reveals that this has to be his last mission, and tells Newman the whole point of these hallucinations. You see, by inspiring Newman, and as it is now revealed many, many people across the planet, Cap is essentially spreading his own life force thin across many people so that they can become the new wave of Captain Americas. Newman asks, "But Cap, if you're asking me to be the new Captain America, why can't I jump 50 feet like you can, and do cannonballs like you can, and throw shields and be really cool?" And Cap replies, "Well, because we've been spread thin and there are like 1 billion people now with my spirit, you've got like 1/1000th of my spirit, which is still pretty damn cool if you think about it." Newman accepts this and then proceeds to get through the end of the cave and, flee out into safety. We then see a few scenes of him using his new Cap-empowered spirit and beating up a bunch of evil terrorists before safely making it home. And that's the end of the story. Now, The Chosen was conceived as Captain America: The End. It was meant to be the final chapter in Captain America's life, and a fitting send-off to the red, white, and blue star-spangled hero. And as such, it tried to leave us with a message. We as people should try to be as good as Cap is. The whole point of the story is that we should all take inspiration from Captain America and stand up for our ideals like he does. Courage, honor, sacrifice, and loyalty. These arc words keep coming back to us to say, these are what Captain America stands for. These are what make him a good person. You should do it too. And thematically, it works really well. It's a story where not all that much happens. It's basically, guy gets trapped in cave, guy finds the inspiration to get out of cave, guy gets out of cave. But backing up that bare bones plot is the whole idea of inspiration, of Captain America inspiring the best in people, of inspiring heroism in others. The question, what makes a hero, is answered, well, all of these good things that Cap keeps spouting on about. And what makes it most effective is, this is how Captain America really should be written, as an ideal for people to strive to. So overall, I think Captain America: The Chosen achieves its purpose quite well. And it's definitely helped along by Mitch Breitweiser's art style. We're treated to very muted, very washed out colours, making it look like a wartime epic. Which is very reminiscent of old war movies, or war museums where they use the same colour tone on all of their pictures. Which really gets across the idea that Cap's ideals are ideals for all time. They're things that we should always be striving to. They are timeless. In short, while it's not the best Captain America story, because indeed it's not really a story for Captain America, it's a story about Corporal Newman, this is still quite a decent piece of Marvel history. As we all know, Cap didn't actually die, because you can't kill off one of your main franchise characters unless you're in Ultimate Marvel. It's definitely well worth a read if you've got nothing else to do. I'm Trainer Nick, I have other videos up here, and there's a subscribe button down there somewhere. Leave a comment if you have something to say about it, or if you have a Marvel comic that you'd like me to talk about next time. Also, help me get more viewers by sharing me on the Facebooks or the Twitters or anything else that you follow. That'd be nice. And I'll see you next week on Nick Talks Marvel.